Hi, good evening. This is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. I am going to be doing a live show. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to click on and get here. Let's see. I've got a couple of people that wanted me to invite them, and I'm going to do that now. I've had several people that have wanted to post a question and have not been able to, so I'm hoping I can see if I can get all of this done. Okay, so hey, Robert D, Callie, Chelsea, I'm going to be doing some interpretations of some dreams. At the end, I don't have enough interpretations to take up the whole 20 minutes, so I just want to let you know, hi Lori, that I will be at the end, I will be doing some questions, so if you have some psychic questions for me, please make sure that you're ready to post those. I am all super excited and trying to get all of this done at the same time, and of course at the last second had computer issues, so we're going on with life. That's the way I think about it. So our first dream is from Sandra, and she had a dream that she was standing in front of her kitchen refrigerator, and she was mesmerized by a huge container of glass, and it was kind of swirling. And one of the things I get from that is that the dream is telling you that you've kind of put what you really want. Thanks, Lori. That what you really want, you're kind of putting on ice. You're not letting completely expand. And the glass is all about, you're only seeing the sparkly side of things, but this is what you really want to push more energy into. And so some things that you really want to amplify in your energy. So that's one of the things that's going to be really fun for you is as this ice kind of defrosts and all the glitter starts to shimmer out, and thinking about like where this energy is going to go and where it's going to take you into the future. And I know Sandra has some psychic abilities, and so that may be part of what's coming up and going on for you guys. What dreams mean for you, and where do you want your energy to go. So what I want you to understand is that's really important, not only for you but for many people. This kind of time of year, Neptune is in Mercury in retrograde right now, and that's what it means is it's kind of like as we pass each other by, it's one of those, it looks like Neptune is kind of slowing down, but it's really not. It's kind of like two cars on a curve, and as you curve, Neptune looks like it's slowing down, and he really starts to affect our dreams at this time of year. So that's something that's coming up for us, this change in energy and really stepping into our dreams. And Neptune and Mercury in retrograde is amazing. It also comes on the cusp of having Mercury goes into retrograde. I know people ought to go, oh my gosh, Mercury in retrograde, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Actually, Mercury in retrograde is going to kick Neptune into some hyperdrive. So what's going to happen is Neptune is all about your dreaming, and Mercury is all about your communication and what do you want to rethink or relearn in your dream area, but also in your communication area, and where do you want to amp this up a little bit at. So that's something that is really starting to come forward for a lot of people. So let's see. Lori has our next one. So what I get is that she's talking about, she had a dream that she was in a restaurant bar type thing, almost like a drive-in from the 50s, and there were a lot of people, and she was waiting on tables. That's a past life for you, Lori. That's not just a dream, that's a past life dream that you're going into. She talked to a cute guy about repairing a button on his shirt, and that's kind of where you in that lifetime is where you learned. A lot of times we do this, what we do is we want to change the person we're with, and that's what the button represents, is changing the person that we're with. So it's one of those, going to the restroom is letting go of fear of being rejected. after looking in the mirror, Daisy Duke, I would assume in that lifetime that kind of everybody kind of looked like Daisy Duke, to an extent, kind of not just her in particular, but that style of clothing was very popular during that time frame. And there are some planets that haven't changed their dress code in a long time, so you will actually see people still dressed like the 1950s in the poodle skirts and that sort of thing. In that lifetime was also one of the ones that you had with both your sons. That's where you're talking about, like, forgetting to pick them up from school. It was a lifetime where you're really starting to come into claiming the people that you really want to continue having in your life. It's one of those, and the reason why I understand that it's a past life for you and not just a dream is because you said you were in such a heavy sleep. When you're dreaming, I mean, not that you don't get into a heavy sleep, but it's one of those, it changes when you're in a heavy sleep and when you're kind of going into past life regression is what you were really going into. So that's something really important to understand. Let's see, I've got another one from Lori, and then, okay, let's see. And then, I've got a question. Joy, who is actually putting her little baby to bed and couldn't join us, messaged me a question not too long ago. There are 2 reasons why people do not dream. She says, why do I not dream? There's 2 reasons. One is you probably had, in your childhood, in this life, you probably had bad dreams and you decided, I don't want anything to do with that. And just kind of, it scared you. You might have had several bad dreams in a row where you're going, I want to turn that off. I don't want to deal with that anymore. Belinda, I'll read your question in just a second. And the other one is you're choosing to forget. So telling yourself prior to you moving into your dream, before you go into your dreams, when you're in bed, kind of thinking about what's about to happen, all of this energy, think about what dreams you want to have, where do you want to go, what do you want to look at in your dream, but then also telling yourself, I'm choosing to remember this, and don't let yourself slide. If when you start waking up, you'll start to have like bits and pieces start coming out. I always tell people, have let's see if I have one in here. Okay. The trick to remembering your dreams is, first off, have a notebook by your bedside, and the other one is having a click pen. Click your pen, write down your notes, jot down your information that came through. Even if it's not a complete one, it's one of those, write it down, write as much information, and write as anything that didn't make sense to you, write it down, and then you can always do some dream interpretations online. So a click pen is perfect for that. And it really does help amp up your energy. Okay, let's see, Lori. Okay, so once she was having a dream of her grandparents' house and saw a pink and purple sky, a huge tornado forming. She got her son to come back inside with her. I can't remember who else was there. I feel like there were other family members with you, and it wasn't just your son, but I do feel like it was probably a husband or a boyfriend type person at the same time. We looked in utility room is what are we not putting into use in this life, and saw a smaller tornado, but it was black and white. And then it's one of those, I would say she was talking about like being afraid outside the house, but not being afraid inside the house. And that's because in the house we feel more comfortable. It does. Writing them really does help. Lori's just saying that. It's like, it so much helps to write them down. So it's one of those, it's really important to write down your dreams. As soon as you wake up, get your click pen, boom, write down, jot down your few things. And then later on when you get a chance, because I know especially a lot of my clients are moms, and so when you get up, it's like go, go, go. We've got kids to get dressed. We've got things to take care of. If you write them down later on in the day when you've got a few minutes to yourself, you can really look at them and go, okay, what was the dream, and do some interpretations on your own. So Belinda, dreaming that someone passed away does not mean that they're going to pass away. It can be one of two things. Either they are going to pass away, or what's going to happen is it's really a lot of parents have this when their kids are going into a new phase. So when they're graduating from high school, going into college, when they're graduating from college, going into the real world. So a lot of people have this time where they're, it's not really, have these strange dreams about someone passing away or someone coming back to life, like they passed and then they got out of the coffin, that sort of thing. And really what it is that new chapter in their life. What are they opening up to in their life? This new chapter, and what do they open up into? And it's kind of like the end of the old chapter, like chapter 10 is over, now what's going to happen in chapter 11 or 12, depending on what's happening in their life. And she's just entering into a new phase in her life. So that's kind of the one way to really understand when you think about people passing away in your dreams. I've done it. I've had dreams that my husband has passed. I've had dreams that my kids have passed. The dogs have passed. The cat has passed. It doesn't mean they're going to pass away. What it really means is that you are coming into this time, or they're coming into this time either with you or without you, and they're coming into a new chapter in their life. I see this a lot with a lot of clients. I said it's one of those, and it can be really scary, but know that it's really not a scary thing. But it's something that's really important. I will open up to any questions that you have. Please keep them short. Keep it one question. Don't double question like we do in Texas, like 2 or 3, 4 questions at a time. Make sure that you're asking one question at a time, and I will answer as many as I possibly can. We have just over about 8 minutes or so. So if you want to post your questions, I'll look at them now. I will go into kind of explaining Mercury, like I said, just came into retrograde tonight. It's one of those, what was the last part about being afraid to go inside but not outside? So this is what is, okay, it says, I was scared outside but not inside the house, which means as long as you're part of the group or you're part of what's going on, you feel okay and secure. But it's when you feel like you're on the outside of a situation or an event, makes you feel scared. I think it did too. It's one of those, I can get sidetracked pretty quickly in the energy. That's just normal day life for me, I guarantee you. So Mercury coming into retrograde is going to be a very powerful one. This one starts in Sagittarius, which is a really great way to start out. It's, people may feel a little bit heavy or feel a little bit overwhelmed with Mercury going into retrograde, because we've got, like I said, hi Sandra. So we already have Mercury starting retrograde today, and is in retrograde for about 3 weeks and comes out right before Christmas time. So it's one of those, rethink how you communicate with other people. If there is a possibility that you're not going to be able to rethink or recommunicate with people, make an exit plan. If it's one of those, my family can be very difficult. My family growing up was very difficult. There was a lot of energy, and we were everybody was kind of all hard-headed, so it kind of really just kind of came together. And so make an exit plan. Take a chance to go outside and sit down and relax and get away for a few minutes. Doesn't mean you're running away. What I'm saying is coming back into that time frame. So let's see, we've got Sammy coming in with, this wasn't a dream that I had. I remember waking up one night and I saw a black shadow standing over my, Sammy, that was, actually it was a kind of like a daydream kind of thing. But when you're waking up and that black shadow was actually you were astral projecting out of your body. The way I describe that is kind of like your body is laying in bed like this, and your spirit leaves. Doesn't mean you're dying, just means that your spirit leaves and your body is still here breathing, taking care of everything, and your spirit leaves and goes and parties and plays and kind of plays amongst the stars. And when they come back in, our body will kind of wake up a little bit. And sometimes people will say, I felt like I had an elephant on my chest, or someone was moving the covers. My client today said that. She said, I always felt like someone was moving the covers around me. Doesn't mean that was anything spiritually bad. It doesn't mean that anything was overwhelming or hard. It just means that your spirit body is coming back into your physical body, and it will it will take some time to get accustomed to that. I often tell people that astral project where you want to go. Don't just go kind of like pick up a ticket and go wherever you want to go. Tell yourself where you want to go and take some time off. And sometimes I even tell myself, I'm staying at home tonight. I am not going astral projecting anywhere. I'm going to sleep, especially when I haven't had a chance to really get a good sleep in a while. So, okay, so Carrie's asking, my first love came back into my life after 15 years, and I'm always dating a new guy. I just met odds. Okay. One of the things I would get is I'm kind of getting like vibrationally, Carrie, with you and the new guy, I'm getting a better energy match between you and your ex. Sometimes exes are there for a reason. It's one of those, and not that he was a bad person, just means that, and the timing always being off means that it's probably happened in past lives also, that in a past life y'all were together, and every time you tried to get together, either he was in a relationship or you in a relationship, and it takes time to kind of come through that. So I want you to understand that there's a reason why y'all haven't been able to connect on this level. So Sylvia, what I'm getting on your question is, I was at a family picnic with my mom and dad, and it was like they had never divorced. That's kind of like your dream life. It's one of those, it's something very special, and I do think maybe part of it is a dream, but part of it is not a dream. I do feel like there was a family function. I also feel like this wanting of desiring, and the picnic comes in, that is like it would just be you and your family. It wouldn't be everybody else coming in together. It would be like, not like a Christmas party where everybody, you know, aunts and uncles and cousins and nieces and nephews are all there, but a picnic would be just like your family, and you're able to it's one of those, celebrate on your own, be with each other together, and to celebrate that energy together. Let's see. Okay, who else? What do we got? Yes, he was a good person. I understand, Carrie, I'm going back to your question, is I understand he is a good person, but it's one of those, and not, I always tell people he's an extra reason. Y'all, both of y'all had a lot of growing up, and you're right. There was a lot of growing up on both sides that had to happen. I would just say he's not always the best energy for you, and he's not always the best influence on you, is what I'm talking about. Okay, Sandra, going into your dream. I had a dream that a guy I was dating was checking your teeth for cavities, and he was also checking for loose teeth. It's not necessarily, each of your teeth have a psychic message. I often teach that in my classes, that anywhere you have pain or injury in your body, it has a psychic message for you. And that's one of the best things about that, is that you can start interpreting. Your teeth are all about what you show to the world. It also, as you go towards the back of your mouth, starts going into some of your organs. That way, your jaws, your eyes, your eye sockets, your hair, your head, all the different categories, all that have something to do. And that's one of the things I teach in psychic class, is what does that mean, and why is it so important to understand? So, Lord, why do I have... it's one of those that's kind of, Mercury coming into retrograde is a really good time to really start rethinking your energy that you have around you, and how would you like to upgrade that relationship, and how would you want to put that into higher vibration, or are there any anything that you would like to add to questioning or getting information from them? Mercury's in retrograde is all about what communication, and how to rethink your communication, and how to refigure things out. So just understand that that's something that's really important. We have a couple of minutes, and I'll stay on a few minutes longer if y'all have got some other questions for me. I'm having lots of fun. It's one of those, I love answering questions. I will do another dream interpretation, and I may just end up doing where instead of doing a Monday morning live, what I may do is a Monday night live or a Monday or a Thursday night live or something like that, where y'all get a chance to connect with me and ask some questions and find out some information, which is always kind of fun. I enjoy getting to connect with y'all in a different way. I'm in my home office today. I've got things decorated differently than I've had in the past, so that's kind of like a new and different thing for me. I will be doing another one. I will post it on Facebook and let you know when that's about to happen and what energy is coming at us. But one of the best ways for you to communicate with me is getting onto my newsletter. And you would go to my website at oneinspiringwoman.com and putting it on there. At the very bottom of the first page is my newsletter. You can sign up for it. I email it out. And one of the things that I email out that absolutely everybody who gets my email, and Lori can attest to this. Let me see if I can find it really quick. It's here. So this is the best thing. It takes so much time. This is my daily energy reading. So what I do is an angel card reading, and I don't know if you can see this, I'm trying to do it backwards, is I start out with each day of the week, what day it is, what energy is coming at us, and if it's a power day. Now, November has a ton of power days. And it also has some infinite days. So days that end up adding to the center number adding to 8. So you have the 11, which is the doorway of what do you want to step into. 2018, which is the doorway. If you added up 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 equals 11, which is a doorway. So you've got 2 doorways and an infinite sign in the middle. So what do you want to step into for your future? What do you want to power into? Is it your own job, your own personality changes, businesses? What do you want to create? What do you want to do? What do you want to sell, or what do you want to take care of? It's stepping into all of that power all at the same time. And doing that in November is going to be really, really powerful. And it doesn't mean like, oh my gosh, I need to rush around and open up my doors and open up a new business. Like right now, it's just opening the doors to the energy, starting to write down your information, starting to add that energy to what you're doing, adding your energy to what's going on, and adding your energy to what do you want to step into into your world. This is the time to kind of plan it. It'll come a time in December that it'll be time to kind of take it into the next step. Maybe it doesn't mean it's opening the doors yet. It just may be coming into more information of what's going to happen. Okay, Lori says, what about back pain between the shoulder blades, like on the bra line? I would say that is a past life that you've been dealing with. What I would do is, if you don't have a salt stone, everything else, here we go. See if I can do it. Okay, so getting a salt stone and sit with it in that area. You can like put it down on your bed and then lay down on top of it or anything else, and literally go into a past life regression. I know you know how to do that, Lori. So do a past life regression and see what comes up, and this will heal it. It'll bring it up forward, so it'll be healed. That's your psychic message. Your shoulder blades are also all about your burdens that you picked up. For you, especially, Lori, it's also a past life thing. That's why you have so much shoulder pain. Let's see. Sandra's asking, can you... okay. About the glass in the refrigerator. What I get... I did that first... Sandra, I did you first. I did you before. Bag of salt. Yeah, do a bag of salt. What I would do is put it into a pile and then sit with it on there. So maybe put it into a piece of fabric and put it, like a whole bunch of it, into a fabric, and put that in that area, and then do your past life regression with that on there. That will really help. Sandra, I did yours first. The glass is all about your dream state of what you want to step into, and thinking more about the flashiness of what you're about to do instead of the work that's about to go in there. It's one of those, it's going to all come in together, but it takes time, and that's why it's swirling. Is kind of like just when you mix things together, it's going to take time for it to incorporate in together. So just know that this is part of what's about to happen. Anybody else has a question? We've got a couple of people on. Anything else? I'll give y'all another minute or so, and then I will pick another day. If Thursday really works for you guys, I would love for y'all to join me here. We can do this every Thursday night if this is a really good time for you, except for Turkey Day. I'm sorry, I just have to be with my family on Turkey Day, but probably by 9 o'clock at night I'll be ready to get rid of them. I also step into, which it becomes really funny, is the last part of the year. Everybody says, you never do any events. Well, the last part of the year for me becomes all about private group readings. So I have a group reading. I have 6 of them set up between Thanksgiving, or right before Thanksgiving, all the way until New Year's Eve. A lot of times I'm invited to people's homes after Thanksgiving or right before Christmas, Christmas Eve, as families starting to come in and they want to hear from Grandma and Grandpa that just passed, or Mom and Dad that just passed. So that starts incorporating into all of these amazing group readings. And so I've got a couple of people. I will also be going up to Austin to do a private group reading up there for a family member, a family friend, and their families are all up in Austin gathering there for Thanksgiving. So I'll be up there right afterwards. So it's one of those, my year starts to get really kind of crazy fun. So I will probably see y'all next Thursday evening at 9 o'clock, because I know Turkey Day will be completely over at my house. Make sure that if you have any questions, long-term questions, make sure that you add them or email them to me. And my email is oneinspiringwoman at gmail.com. And then my website is oneinspiringwoman.com, and you can get through my email that way. So I thank y'all so much for joining me. I am so excited, and we will probably not be doing as many dream interpretations next time. We'll be doing a lot more questions. So get your questions really ready for me, and I will be so ready to answer your questions. I hope y'all have an amazing night. Talk to you soon.